All right. Well, that said, we're getting to our final topic of the night. This is the big one, y'all.
The big kahuna.
If y'all remember on our last stream, we talked briefly about how Kendra has never seen most of the Star Wars movies. She saw the original and she saw Rogue One, I think. So, over the weekend, Kendra and I checked out the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we just wanted to kind of touch base. There's 3 sets of trilogies in Star Wars, so we're going to go ahead and check them all out now, because now we gotta.
Yeah, now we gotta.
But we figured we'd check in after each set. We checked out A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
What'd you think?
Those are their titles, and I remembered every title. I really, really enjoyed them. I think out of all of them, my favorite is Episode 5.
Empire Strikes Back?
Empire Strikes Back, yes, I knew that. The first time that I saw A New Hope was during an RA event when I was very ill. So I don't remember a lot of it. And now going back and watching it, it was basically like watching it for the first time again.
Right.
I cannot believe, well, I can because it was really good, but I can't believe that it just started. It was just like, we're here. We'll hop in, like we're going.
Jumping right in.
Read these 3 paragraphs. That's all the context you're going to get. And we got to go. Sorry, buck wild to me that all of this, all the Star Wars that we know today spawned off of that one movie that just kind of started.
From that one movie in the late 70s to like where we are with The Mandalorian and The Bad Batch.
Everything. 11 movies with more on the way.
With more on the way, more shows on the way. There's
a lot more shows on the way. There's like books, video games.
Comics, video games.
It's insane. But yeah, super, super enjoyable. I have this issue where I don't like to watch stuff that's old or I deem old. Stuff that was like made before 1997. It's like, that's fucking old and it looks old. And I mean, granted, it does look old, but I think Star Wars kind of did it the right way where looking like it was filmed in the 70s kind of became the Star Wars aesthetic. And because a lot of the elements in the first cluster were practical effects and puppetry and all that stuff, because it was that, and that kind of hasn't changed a lot over the years, as long as you stick with that, kind of like how The Mandalorian fused old and new technology in a way that maintained the look of the old. I think Star Wars is kind of exempt from my rule only because looking old and shitty, that's just Star Wars, baby.
How dare you? No, I see what you're saying though. There's definitely a vibe to the Star Wars aesthetic. I haven't watched them back to back like that in I don't know how long. And you're right. When you consider the fact that especially A New Hope came out in 77 and all the things they did, there's just such a charm and like wonder to everything about it, and it was so cool. There's just something about that original trilogy that is just so inherently like, how can you not be amazed by this?
It's like lovable. If it were a person, it would be lovable.
Because you had like this naive protagonist and his like scoundrel buddy.
And then the only person with any fucking brains in the whole operation.
I forgot how much I enjoyed A New Hope, but Empire is just, that's just one of my favorite movies. If there was ever a moment in history I wish I could live for the first time, it's being in the movie theater when you hear Darth Vader say what he says. So, I mean, you mentioned about most of the movie maintaining its original like practical aesthetic, because we watched them on Disney Plus, and because the original versions are not available, we did have to kind of endure some of the questionable decisions made in the post production. So there was a lot of random CGI, and you know what, it would have been fine. But, like, if you're going to keep doing that, can you go back in one more time and, like, touch them up to make the lighting better? Because that's the thing, is everything that's CGI, you can tell is CGI.
I will say not everything. There are very, very few times where I really couldn't tell. I was looking at it, something flying or whatever, and being like, is this like 80s stop motion that just like looks really good because I'm far away from it, or is this CG? I couldn't tell. Those were extremely rare. 99% of the time you see a very obviously CG fucking dinosaur or whatever animal.
The big culprits for me, I mean, there were some that were just like kind of gratuitous and cheesy, just like things walking in the background, and like, why is it so much brighter than everything else?
It's brighter, and then they make noise. Like, it draws your attention to it.
So I think the big culprits for me, there's 3. The re-added Jabba scene in A New Hope Ah, man.
There's a point where I don't know what happened, but Han is walking behind Yaba and he just like fucking like glitches out behind him. No one caught that, surely. And this could be said for probably most of these CGI upgrades. If we had the chance to go back, I'm sure we would prefer the original cut.
Are you talking? Because I know he was at one point supposed to have stepped on Jabba, and that's why Jabba was like, ugh.
I don't think so. I think he was just walking behind him.
He stepped on his tail. He like stepped over him.
I don't remember that.
Anyway.
It was an obvious glitch.
Yeah, maybe I was just being forgiving. But the other ones are, for me, they were both in Return. There's that weird little concert thing they have in Jabba's palace. And it's like, this is weird. Mm-hmm. And then the very, very obvious CG of the celebrations after the Empire's defeated.
Yeah, I kind of understand if those weren't there before, why they would want to add them.
Yeah.
Like the whole galaxy is celebrating. I get that.
The thing is that it was just like such a stark difference of like, we're on location for this celebration, but the rest of this is just, it's so very clearly CG. And like, I get it. I do get it. It's not a criticism on like the creative decision behind it. Oh, and we didn't even talk. The two things that they continue to add more and more layers to was Obi-Wan just screaming at the Tusken Raiders and that weird howl thing he does.
Oh yeah.
And then they added like a weird like non-subtitled fucking slur or something that Greedo says before he supposedly shoots at Han first.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't even mention the fact that at the end of the very last movie they put
I forgot. I blocked it. Hayden Christensen.
Oh my god, I said Hans Christian Andersen. That's a different fucking guy.
They brought him back.
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Because like, okay, from cultural osmosis, I know who that is. I know that he's Anakin.
Yeah. How
would Luke know who the fuck that is?
Yeah.
He could feel it. Oh, that's his dad. He feels it. What? We didn't see that. We didn't see that person at all. That's a whole new fucking dude. I don't know him.
It'd be different if we saw like fucking Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I would be even more upset.
Yeah.
I think.
So
just keep it with that old dude.
Yeah, it was a very strange decision.
So bizarre. They gave Boba Fett his lines and had him match the same actor.
Yeah,
They did that after the fact. They did a lot of stuff like that where it's like, oh, well, we added these details 20 years later, but here you go.
Yeah, it just, some of it was just like unnecessary, and
maybe for the 50th anniversary, we'll get like a recut.
I would love like an official despecialized edition, still remastered and stuff.
Yeah.
But just like, I want to see it in its original intended glory.
Or have that be an option and also just like release the George Lucas fucked up version, but de-fucked up. We have the technology. We can go back and redo all of that CG to make it look seamless.
Yeah.
I don't ask for much. I'm new to the Star Wars space and I'm already demanding changes.
But yeah, it was cool revisiting the original trilogy just because like...
It was cool revisiting it for the first time.
And that's our first edition of Revisited for the first time.
Yeah, I liked it and I'm very, very excited. I'm excited to see the prequels. I think overall they'll be fun.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm not like a Star Wars purist, obviously, because I'm just getting around to watching them.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to watch those, mainly so I can get them out of the way so I can watch the newest 3.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else from the OG trilogy. It's cool. It's cool seeing Darth Vader. Just like, I feel like he's like one of the most iconic movie villains.
I don't know. I mean, no, yes, you're like 100% correct. But also, he was kind of like a little bitch in the third one.
Well,
he was kind of like, oh, Papa told me to kill you. No, Papa told me to do this.
We'll get around to that. I don't know. There's just something about him. Like, you see that kind of stuff now, and you would be like, I feel like a kid might see it and be like, this all looks goofy. But
like, he doesn't even fight. He doesn't even have a gun.
I don't know.
He's fucking menacing.
Just that, especially that voice. Shout out to James. It was so fucking cool. I know there was a couple questions in there like, wait, the Force can do this?
Oh, yeah.
They just kind of kept adding stuff.
They jump real high. All of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know they could do that.
You fell in love with a particular droid. You want to talk about that?
R2-D2 is so cute.
Oh, fucking C-3PO. I forgot how funny he was in the original trilogy.
Funny.
Especially in Return, when the fucking Ewoks started bowing down to him. Kendra just looked at me and went, "Oh my god."
I was like, oh, they're really gonna do this, huh?
Yeah, he was their Dennis Reynolds.
Their golden god.
Their golden god.
The Golden God! I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
No, R2-D2 definitely stole the show. Favorite part of all 3 movies.
Yeah.
I love him so much. He's so cute, and when you do a scream, I mean, sometimes it's like, he's hurt. How is he not broken?
Yeah.
But his scream is really, really cute. Or when he like shakes when he's excited. Stop.
Yeah. I remember just laughing when he got fucking eaten by that thing and it just spit him out.
He's like,
fucking shooting out. Or when the Ewoks were fucking with him and he finally got down and he started fighting them.
Tasing people.
I love R2. There's so much to love about these movies, and to think literally everyone thought it was going to flop.
Here's the thing, after watching the first one again, I get it. I completely understand how everyone was like, this is gonna do poo-poo numbers. No one's gonna want to come to see this. This is weird. We're starting in the middle of a story. No one's gonna have any context. They've never seen anything like this before. I fully see. It's one of those things where if it doesn't flop horribly, it's going to be what it became.
Yeah, it was a true all or nothing, like 50-50 shot. Like this might not work, but it might. And that was enough for George Lucas and ultimately 20th Century Fox at the time to be like, all right, I guess we're in. But 20th Century Fox believed in it so little that they actually, this might be a fun fact for some people, they let George Lucas keep 100% at the time, 100% of the merchandising rights for Star Wars.
Fools.
And that's where he got his money from.
Yeah. Think of every Star Wars toy you've ever seen come across. And you can oh my God.
And you could see that, especially with the sequels, you know, Boba Fett with the fucking Ewoks.
Yeah.
You know, you could definitely see what, you know.
Like, how can I make a toy?
How can I make a toy and how can I promote it?
Boba Fett is fucking, well, not including The Mandalorian. Pretend that doesn't exist, that whole series. Boba Fett has been hyped up for years and years and years, and I finally watched these movies. He says 3 things and then falls in a fucking pit.
And he fucking dies because a blind Han accidentally hit him. Yeah, so, but that's what makes me grateful for The Mandalorian is because they made up for it.
Yes. Because Boba Fett's fucking badass. I'm so excited to see Book of Boba Fett, especially now after I have a little bit more. Not even, you know what? No, I don't have any more context. He was there for 3 scenes and then got swallowed up.
No spoilies. You will get a little more context.
We're going back in time?
When we go back in time. When we go back in time in the prequels, you'll get a little more context.
Oh, in the prequels. I forgot that we are going back in time in the prequels.
But yeah, I love these movies. I forgot how much I actually really love them as movies, just because we've been so wrapped up in watching the shows recently. And don't get me wrong, love those too. Especially that original trilogy. There's just something so...
There's magic in that.
Yeah, truly. It was fun watching them. I'm excited to watch the rest of them. The good, the bad, and the ugly of Star Wars. Because ultimately, I'm not one of those Star Wars fans that just shits on everything that doesn't have Luke Skywalker in it or doesn't have quote unquote my Luke Skywalker in it. You take it for what it is, and if you like it, great. If you don't, that's cool too. But there's a whole generation of kids out there who grew up on the prequels and that those movies mean something to them. You take it for what it is, and ultimately it's all encompassing and it all makes Star Wars what it is today.
Yeah.
It's a fandom that I think I spent so much time focusing on, like, the negativity that's very real. If you're a fan of Star Wars and you happen to stumble across this video, please don't ever take it out on any of the actors or filmmakers or anything like that. They are just doing their jobs. No one's ever trying to make a bad anything.
Oh, it's just a little PSA.
Just a little PSA for you in the middle of this stream, in the middle of this video. Can you imagine, like, the next time we go to, like, Galaxy's Edge after watching all these movies? I'm
so excited.
Yeah,
to, like, finally understand and, like, have, I don't know, there's one part in Rise of the Resistance, now we're talking Disney parks, baby, but there's this one part of Rise of the Resistance where you are verbally berated by people playing like Imperial people, I don't know, and they're like, tell us about this, and every time I'm just standing there like, I don't know where I am, I don't know who you are, like, I barely know who you work for, I don't have any context, please can we talk about The Mandalorian? It's all I know, please. So it'll be nice to, like, I'm gonna come up with the sickest rebuttals.
Right.
They're gonna be like, where's this? And I'm gonna be like, this planet.
Be
or I'm
like,
gonna be like, oh, didn't this happen to your leader or whatever?
Like,
and
listen,
I'll put in facts.
My dad was on Alderaan. So that said, I'm excited to check out the park again because we'll be fresh with our new newfound, newly realized Star Wars knowledge. But yeah, so yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and we will let you guys know when we watch the prequels and then the sequels and then the spin-offs.
If my fucking tune changes after the prequels, don't be surprised.
No one hates Star Wars more than the Star Wars fan.
You know what? That's part of a fandom, is hating part of it. Like,
Yeah,
you can't be like a Glee fan without hating full seasons. You can't be a Doctor Who fan without hating certain doctors or certain companions, you know?
Yeah.
That's part of it. And you get to hate them with people who also hate them. Well, you all love the same thing. Anyway, that's just fandom.
Yeah, let's I don't know, let's kind of stray from a lot of the toxic norms.
No, that's not toxic, as long as you're not being rude to anybody, but having like a shared hatred.
You know what's interesting about Star Wars, though, in particular with the fandom, is that like for a long time people hated the prequels. People just shit on them, probably more than they should have. And now like the celebration that came about when they announced the Obi-Wan series with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. Like Ewan McGregor I get. Hayden Christensen he kind of had a rough time because, you know, people wanted to just to hate. So the fact that he got such a warm reception on coming back, I was genuinely surprised about. I mean, in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, I was happy for him, but it's just like how much time has to pass before something you hate becomes nostalgic.
And you romanticize it or think maybe it wasn't that bad.
And I feel like that happens with Star Wars a lot.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, in how many years, like, how are people going to react to this certain thing or this certain thing? Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's happening sooner than we think. I wouldn't be surprised if they sneak that cast into the Lando series.
I mean, that would make sense.
For part of it, at least for like an episode or two, and then see about a movie after that. That's what I kind of predict.
Is there any casting news to Lando?
I assume Billy D. Williams will show up or at least be heard at some point.
Aww.
He was in the Lego Holiday Special.
Oh.
He voiced Lando there. Kelly Marie Tran was in that too, in the Lego Holiday Special.
She fucking better be. I haven't even gotten that far, and I'm already pissed.
Star Wars doesn't deserve. No, you know what? Star Wars fans don't deserve Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah, and Kelly Marie Tran doesn't deserve
the hate. What
Star Wars fans
because she's amazing and I love her.
Agreed.
I think that's it. Did you have anything else you wanted to say, Adam?
Bitches and hoes don't exist because the hoes know Bo's a feminist. Just more Bo Burnham lyrics.